Imagine having an entire creative agency and a personal assistant, even a full market research firm, all working just for you, 24/7, and costing less than hiring a single freelancer. It really does sound like something from, well, the future beat. But this isn't science fiction anymore. It's actually here.
Yeah, welcome everyone to the deep dive. This is where we try to unpack some pretty complex ideas and, make them accessible for you. Today, we're diving into something genuinely fascinating, a new guide on building a specialized AI agent swarm. Basically, a system that can automate your entire media production.
That's right. We'll explore exactly how this AI army, as you could call it, functions. Everything from creating really stunning visual ads to doing deep market research. We're going to look at some real world examples, peek under the hood at its architecture, and yeah, even break down the costs and the setup.
hmm Our goal today really is to give you a shortcut, a way to understand this powerful kind of game-changing tech without getting lost in the weeds. So let's get into it.
Okay, so this core concept we're digging into today, it feels genuinely groundbreaking. It's all about building this specialized AI agent swarm, and it uses a tool called n8n. Now, for those maybe not familiar, n8n is this really powerful open source platform. Think of it like a digital conductor, maybe, connecting different services to automate complex stuff, often without needing much code.
Right. And when we say swarm, we mean like a team of AI agents
Uh-huh.
all working together, coordinated. And like you said, this isn't some five-year plan idea.
Mm.
People are building and using this stuff right now.
So what makes this system so special compared to, say, other automation tools people might already be using?
Well, the big thing, I think, is how it shatters this barrier. The one between the analytical business stuff and the creative work. Traditionally, automation was kind of stuck in silos. You'd have one tool for data, another for design, and they didn't talk much. This system, though, it creates this integrated team. It really is like having your own well-oiled creative agency all
Yeah.
connected.
That's a great way to put it. A well-oiled creative agency. So can you tell us a bit more? What does this AI agency actually do? What are the capabilities?
Oh, absolutely. It wears a lot of hats. First off, it's your personal assistant. It can manage emails, your calendar, even organize files in Google Drive. Pretty handy. Then it's this creative powerhouse, generating images completely from scratch, doing complex edits like you'd see in Photoshop, even creating full videos. It can take a boring static image and turn it into a dynamic ad. It's also a social media manager. It'll schedule and post content automatically to X, TikTok, Instagram, whatever you need. And beyond just making stuff, it's a research analyst. It can scrape platforms for trends, pull insights, and compile it all into a professional Google Doc report.
Wow, that's quite a list.
Yeah. And one cool detail, it's also a meticulous accountant. It logs every single action, every success, every failure, even the exact token usage for each task, all in a detailed log. But the real magic, isn't just the list. It's how seamlessly it all works together. You can literally upload one image, say, make me a VFX ad. That's visual effects, right? Motion graphics. And just watch. It creates, edits, and then publishes it across your platforms without you needing to jump between 5 different apps.
That seamless flow, that sounds like the real breakthrough here. Oh, what's the biggest sort of aha moment people have when they see this working? Why does it hit so hard?
I think the biggest aha is seeing that integration in action. Creative and analytical automation finally working together. Every campaign instantly becomes data informed.
Okay, let's walk through an example then. You mentioned turning a basic product photo into an ad campaign.
Exactly. Think of like a creative assembly line. So we started by sending a simple image, just headphones through Telegram. And right away, it wasn't just dumb storage. The agent put it in the Google Drive folder, sure. But then it asked, hey, what should I name this file? That's intelligent file management from the get-go.
Okay, so it's organizing intelligently, not just storing. What's the next step after it's filed?
Precisely. From there, the image went to the design studio agent. We gave it a pretty simple creative brief, something like, make this look like a studio shot, give it energy, make it colorful, capture the feeling of listening to music. So the creative agent takes that, it figures out which tools to use, generates several different stylistic options, and then shows you low-res previews. You get to pick. The result in our test, 3 totally distinct, professional-looking headphone ads, different lighting, different vibes, all delivered in just minutes.
Minutes for professional quality variations? That's impressive. What about adding motion, video?
Right, the final stop was the VFX studio. The command was pretty straightforward. Take that first preview image and make it a video ad. Add music, make light sync to the beat, typical ad stuff. And the agent did this 2 ways. First, image to video. It took our edited headphone shot and brought it to life with dynamic lighting that pulsed with the music. Second, text to video. It generated completely new B-roll footage from scratch, just based on the prompt. Both versions had professional-grade VFX, lights perfectly synced. Whoa! I mean, just imagine the possibilities there. Creating ads with synchronized effects in minutes, not days or weeks. It's like having a Hollywood effects team in your browser. Thinking back to when I first started creating content, this would have been, well, pure science fiction. Hours, maybe days of work, just gone, automated.
That is genuinely astonishing. So with all this production automated, how does this free up a creator? What does it allow them to focus on instead? The bigger picture.
By automating all that production work, creators are basically freed up. They can focus on the high-level strategy, the vision, not just the execution grind. They become architects, not just builders.
Makes sense. We've talked a lot about the creation side, but you mentioned it's also a research tool. Transforming a creator into more of a data-driven strategist with this market intelligence function. How does that part work?
Exactly. So we give the system a mission, pretty simple one. Find me 2 high-performing videos about n8n on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And what happened next was pretty cool, parallel processing. The social media agent didn't just check TikTok, then Instagram, then YouTube. No, it deployed Epify scrapers, which are like automated browsers that grab data to all 3 platforms at the same time. It pulled view counts, likes, comments, info about the creators, and key insights. What formats work, what hooks grab attention.
Okay, so it gathers all this intel simultaneously. What happens with that raw data then? How does it become useful?
Right, so once the scraping was done, the AI agent compiled everything, all the findings from the different platforms into one single professional-looking report in a Google Doc, like an intelligence briefing. And this report had really actionable stuff. Like on TikTok, it found short, punchy tutorials were killing it. On YouTube, it broke down why a specific longer tutorial was so successful. For Instagram, it analyzed visual styles and caption strategies that got engagement. The most impressive part, this whole multi-platform research task, done in minutes. Not the hours and hours of manual scrolling and note-taking it would normally take. You'd usually need a team or at least a dedicated afternoon.
That speed and depth is a huge advantage. Now, you mentioned earlier this isn't just one big AI brain. Can you unpack that agent swarm idea a bit more? How is this whole thing structured? What's the architecture?
Yeah, absolutely. It's key to understanding why it works so well. It's not monolithic. It's structured more like a military unit.
Yeah.
Or maybe a well-run company. There's a clear hierarchy. At the top, you've got the main agent. Think of it as the general or the CEO. It's usually powered by something cost-effective like GPT-4 Mini, maybe through a service like OpenRouter to optimize costs and performance. And its main job, delegate. It doesn't do the work itself. It assigns tasks to the specialists. It also keeps track of the conversation, the short-term memory, so it understands multi-step requests.
Okay, so the general delegates. Who are the troops? The specialists.
Exactly. Below the general are the special forces units.
Yeah.
These are specialized AI agents, each an expert in one area. You've got the creative division. That includes the creative agent, the artist doing image creation, editing, VFX, video, and the posting agent, the publisher getting content out. Then there's the intelligence and operations division, the social media agent, your spy scraping platforms, and the web agent, a general scout for web searches. And finally, an administrative division, the Google Drive agent, sort of the digital quartermaster managing files, and a comms team handling email, calendar, contacts, that sort of thing.
That hierarchy sounds, well, complex, like building a real org chart. But does that specialization actually make the system more robust, more reliable?
Yes, absolutely. That specialization is what makes it robust, reliable, and actually easier to expand later. Each agent just focuses on what it does best.
Okay, let's dive deeper into that creative agent then, the secret sauce, you called it. It's workshop. How exactly does it menu image and video stuff?
Right, the digital easel handles the static images. For creating a new image, you give it a detailed prompt, a name, it uses an API like OpenAI's, and bam, delivers a preview to Telegram and saves the high-res version to Google Drive. The editing workflow is even smarter, I think. You give it an existing image and instructions. Instead of just making one final version, it generates multiple low-res previews first. You look at them, pick the one you like, then it renders the final high-res image.
Ah, that makes sense. Saves time and compute costs if the first try isn't quite right. What about video?
Yeah, exactly. Then there's the editing bay for video. For text to video, you give it a text prompt. It uses a model, maybe something fast and efficient like Google's VO3 Fast, and generates original B-roll footage. It uses this smart polling thing to know when the video is ready. And for image to video, like in the demo we talked about, it takes your image and adds those cool VFX, like the lights pulsing in time with the music, adds the audio track too.
So it's not just executing commands, it's actively trying to improve the output.
Precisely. The creative agent also has this built-in artistic philosophy. Its core instructions, its system prompt, tells it to be an optimizer, not just a blind follower. So when you give it a simple idea, its first move is often to rewrite that idea into a more detailed, more stylized prompt internally.
Hmm.
It's trying to engineer a better prompt before it even calls the image or video model. It acts like a creative director. I still wrestle with prompt drift myself sometimes. That's when the AI kind of wanders from your original intent over iterations. So having an AI agent basically refining the prompt for you, that's pretty awesome.
That is a huge help, yeah. Boosting quality automatically. Okay, so you've created this amazing content, but it's not much use sitting on a hard drive. How does the system handle publishing, getting it out there?
Right, this is where the posting agent comes in. And the whole posting system is built on this really elegant four-step modular process. Think of it like a standard shipping container for your content. Makes things predictable. First step, file prep. Making sure the final image or video in Google Drive has the right public sharing permissions so the posting tool can grab it. Second, platform optimization. The system automatically tweaks things like caption length, hashtags for whatever platform you're targeting. X needs different stuff than TikTok, right? Third, the delivery. It uses a reliable third-party tool, something like Potato or Buffer's API, to actually do the posting. These tools are built for robust delivery. And finally, confirmation. It gives you back a submission ID so you can track that the post went through successfully.
That modular approach sounds incredibly efficient. Does that really make it easier to add new platforms later on, say, if a new social network pops up?
Absolutely. That's the beauty of it. The actual n8n workflows for posting to X, TikTok, and Instagram, they're almost identical. The only thing that really changes is the final destination setting. This makes the whole posting system super easy to maintain and expand. Adding support for, LinkedIn or Threads, it's basically duplicating an existing workflow and changing one or two nodes. Really straightforward. Mid-roll sponsor read.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We've just gone through the amazing capabilities of this AI media agent swarm. Now, the crucial question, how do you tailor it? How do you make it work for your specific brand, your workflow? Where does customization begin?
Yeah, this is the calibration bay, essentially. And it's designed to be flexible. You can really define your brand's unique style by tweaking the system prompts within those creative sub-workflows. That means you can adjust the default image and video prompts to match your visual aesthetic. You want minimalist and clean, tell it that. Bold and vibrant, tell it that. You can also tune quality settings to balance how it looks versus, the cost.
Okay, so you can tune the creative output. What about the research side or the social media activity?
Same idea. For the social media agent, you're basically giving your spy its mission parameters. You configure the scraping settings, focus on a specific niche, track certain competitors. You can also customize posting schedules. Maybe your audience is active at specific times. And fine-tune the default captions and hashtags to always match your brand voice. And for the research agent, you refine its focus. Adjust the search terms, limit the number of results it pulls so you don't get overwhelmed, customize the Google Doc templates so reports look exactly how you want them. It's all about tuning its brain.
Right. Now let's talk about the operator's manual, specifically costs and transparency. What are the real numbers involved in running something like this? What should someone expect?
Good question. There are basically three main cost areas to think about. First is token usage. That's your primary variable cost, kind of like the fuel for the AI models. The system smartly uses cost-effective models like GPT-4o Mini for most things. But sometimes, for trickier tasks, specialized agents might strategically use a more powerful, slightly pricier model like Claude or maybe GPT-4 when deep reasoning is really needed. Second is media generation, the actual cost of creating the images and videos. Using OpenAI for images, you're looking at maybe 4 cents per median quality image. For video, using something like Fel.ai with VO3, it might be around $3.75 for a high-quality 8-second clip with synced audio.
Those costs per asset seem surprisingly low, actually, for that kind of output. What about fixed costs, subscriptions?
Yeah, the per asset cost is pretty manageable. Then you have the monthly subscriptions, your overhead, a solid social media posting tool like Blowdata, maybe around $29 a month to start. Apify, for the web scraping, has flexible pricing, and honestly, their free tier is pretty generous for getting started or for moderate use. And a pro tip here, always hunt around for special deals or extended trials. Lots of these SaaS tools offer them for new users.
Okay. And you mentioned a crucial piece earlier, the black box recorder. How does that fit into understanding costs and performance?
Ah, yes, the black box recorder. This is absolutely critical, in my opinion. It gives you a complete, unchangeable audit trail, proof of everything your AI army does, How it works is it logs all the execution details, timestamp, which workflow ran, the inputs, the outputs, the token usage breakdown, success or failure status, any errors, all in real time to a dedicated Google Sheet. Why is this so critical? Well, for rapid debugging if something goes wrong. For smart cost optimization, you can see exactly where your tokens are going. For full accountability, and ultimately for data-driven improvement, you can actually see what's working and optimize, just like managing a human team, but with perfect data.
That level of logging sounds invaluable. Okay, so for someone listening who's thinking, right, I'm ready to build my own media empire, what's the assembly manual? What are the practical first steps?
All right, step one is acquiring the schematics. You need the n8n workflow files. You can usually find these shared in online automation communities, often bundled as a ZIP file. These files are the blueprints. There are about 9 essential ones. The main agent, edit image, create image, image to video, create video, the posting workflows for X, TikTok, Instagram, and the Google Doc creation workflow.
Got it. Download the blueprints, then comes the assembly part.
Then comes the assembly. This needs some careful, focused work. First, you import all those workflow files into your n8n setup. The absolutely critical part here is linking the tool nodes in the main agent to the correct sub-workflows. The names must match exactly for the delegation to work. Second, set up your Google environment. Create the specific folders in Google Drive like Media and Media Analysis, where it will store assets and reports. Set up the Google Sheet using the provided logging template. Third, API integration. You got to gather all your API keys, OpenAI, Google, Telegram, Apify, your social posting tool, and add them securely into the n8n credentials section.
Okay, that sounds methodical. What would you say is the biggest potential snag or hurdle someone might hit during that initial setup, the place to be extra careful?
Honestly, linking all those workflows correctly in the main agent,
Huh?
making sure every connection is right, every name matches, it really requires attention to details. Like Lego blocks one piece in the wrong spot, and the whole thing might not work as expected.
Right, attention to detail is key there. So let's try and bring this all together. This system, it feels like more than just automation, doesn't it? It seems like a complete paradigm shift. You're moving from being just the artist, the creator, to being the director of an entire automated creative studio. You're not just saving time, you're genuinely multiplying your creative output.
Totally. And look, let's be real. This isn't a 5-minute setup. You definitely need to plan for, maybe a few hours of careful, focused configuration initially to get everything wired up right. But once it is running, you have this absolute creative powerhouse working for you. Something that, if you try to replicate it with traditional tools and freelancers, would easily cost thousands of dollars every single month. It's a massive competitive advantage.
It really feels like the AI revolution in creative work isn't some future event. It's actually here now. And it's surprisingly accessible if you're willing to put in that initial effort to build the system. This media agent army concept gives individuals and small teams the power to compete with much larger agencies, potentially even working solo. So the final thought perhaps is, stop just dreaming about automating your creativity. The tools and the blueprints are out there. It's time to start building it.
Yeah, and remember, there are dedicated online communities, even advanced courses if you really want to dive deep and achieve true mastery. Think about how these ideas, this capability, could fundamentally change how you approach content creation and marketing. It really opens up a whole new world.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. It's been fascinating. We'll be back soon with more insights to unpack. Out to your own music.